might be a very good football team. They might win their division and go to the playoffs. Dude.
Casey, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I knew you were gonna be grossed out.
I might have to rinse your mouth. That was disgusting. My ears are like ringing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the sport. Did I throw you off there? You want to do an intro song?
Yeah.
Let's run it. Yeah, okay. Bow! Cacao! Da-da-dow!
Sports!
Da-dow! Da-dow! Da-da-dow!
Highlights!
Ba-ba-dow! Da-da-dow! No!
Insights!
Oh, but oh no! Da-dow! Wow!
Tips!
Ba-bow! Went with the higher pitch this week, huh? What do you think, buddy?
Loved it, buddy. Week 3.
Week 3.
We're back up a little bit.
Yeah, we are. 500. Hey.
Let's go.
500. If I could gamble as much as we've been gambling and end up 500 by the end of the year, I'll be a very happy man.
You're taking that every time.
You'll see a smile on this guy's face. I promise you that.
100%, buddy. 50.00000001. That's a win in my book.
That's buddy. A W.
All we're aiming for.
Not technically. Technically, what do you gotta go like 52% to be positive money wise?
To beat the house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Put a parlay in there, you'll be all right.
Yeah, a couple parlays. I'm trying to teach my one friend that you just never parlay. You just don't.
Never.
You just don't ever do it. I was
teasers. Nope. Never do it.
I was getting a little cocky because I went 5-2 last week and I'm the best gambler I know. And I was thinking, I was like, do I throw a parlay in this week just because I'm so hot right now? But no, can't do it. Stick to the Bible.
I got my cousin Joey. Last year, we introduced him as well, put one parlay in, hit it right off the bat, and I was like, you got to promise me never make this mistake again.
Don't do it again. Don't do it again.
It was great, but don't do it, buddy.
It's a trap, man. Really quick before we dive into the picks, not going to spend too long on the opening here, but Giants, let's go Giants! 2-0, Manny.
That flip pick helped me, buddy.
Yeah, it did.
Big time flip pick.
You wouldn't be looking at 500 this week if it wasn't for the flip pick.
Needed the G-men to come through. I told you they were the pick, buddy.
Speaking of, how about them Cowboys?
Yikes.
Goopy rush. Goopy poopy rush. Told you.
Dude, that was a dagger to my heart just watching that game unfold.
How long do you...
I mean, the Bengals are bad.
The Bengals might be bad. Their offensive line, but I think like they were fluky last year. Like they went to the Super Bowl, and so we all got convinced like, oh, the Bengals are really good. Like everybody coming into the season for some reason was like, the Bengals are as good as the Chiefs and the Bills.
I took them over 9.5 wins because I thought they were going to win conservatively 16, 17 games.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody did.
Conservatively.
And then like we forgot that they don't have an offensive line. Like it basically shouldn't exist at this point. Joe Burrow's on pace to be sacked like 100 times this season.
That's like sickening.
That's so disgusting. All right, first game of the week. Let's get it started. We've got the Chiefs heading into Lucas Oil Field in Indianapolis, facing the Colts. Chiefs minus 5.5. Over under is at 47.5. What are you thinking?
Look what I'm wearing, Casey. Somebody's due for a bounce back. This jersey's losing value by the day.
Yup.
I am taking Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. They're an absolute wagon. I think this NFL race is two teams, Bills and Chiefs again, kind of like we saw last year. I know it didn't work out that way, but listen, Patrick Mahomes, those guys are just scoring points down there. Tyreek, bye-bye, buddy. They don't even need you. This Chiefs team is kind of forming into be the real deal. Absolutely dominated the Chargers. Put it up big on week 1 as well. I like the Chiefs here. 5.5 is not enough points. And this line's crazy. This line should be 8 or 9 points given by the eye test alone.
So, there's an old philosophy in gambling, my guy. buy low. All right? We've got so many cliches I could throw at you right now. Home dog. Hungry dog runs faster. All of them. Trap game. Trap spot for the Chiefs. All of them. Colts plus 5.5. Listen, I know it smells. I know it stinks. This line should be like 8.5, 9.5, maybe even in the double dig. But you wouldn't have thought that 2 weeks ago. So don't forget that you thought the Colts were going to be good this year. Don't forget that. Don't let a couple stinkers to open the year. You know how old Matt Ryan is? Takes a little bit longer for the older vehicles to get moving and get warmed up, you know? You got to start that. I had the old Chevy Astro van. You got to go outside. You got to start that thing like 25 minutes before you need to go anywhere in the winter. Takes a little bit longer to get the old dogs riled up again. So give Matt Ryan a second to get riled up. I think this is a trap game spot for the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs win by 3. Convenient, considering I'm taking the Colts plus 5.5. We're going to come back to this because I think there's going to be a bigger flip game. This might have to be the flip game if it's the only one we're opposite on, but I really like the Colts in this spot.
Casey, dude, I don't know, man. That was pretty convincing. And while you were speaking such a fluid melody, I did happen to realize that game is going to be played in a dome as well.
Maybe.
Matt Ryan used to the dome.
Maybe. You always say that. You always forget that, like, that bad boy's a convertible. Irsay makes the call day of. He's like, you know what? I'm feeling open today.
I'm sticking with my Chiefs. I would love to see that text before I throw anything in. I'm sticking with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the team.
Yeah, check it. Just subscribe to Jim Irsay on Twitter. I think he tweets out as soon as, like, he wakes up Sunday morning and he goes open. And then, like, whatever he tweets, it's kind of like a Groundhog Day situation with Irsay there. All right, I like that we're opposites on that pick, honestly, because I thought you were going to be all over the Colts. Dude, all right. You came into the season.
I know. I don't want to hear it. I know.
I mean, it's worked out for you because they've been so bad. But, like, you came into the season being like the Colts might be the best team in the NFL, and then you've proceeded to bet against them every single week.
Yeah.
It's worked. Hey, it's fucking worked. All right, next game on the slate here. We're going to go with the Atlanta Falcons, my Atlanta Falcons, heading into Seattle. You want to talk about an ugly game. You want to talk about games that at the end of the season we're going to look back at and be like, what game meant the least to this entire football season? It will be this one. Neither of these teams are doing anything in the long run, which is why it's a perfect spot for us gamblers. Vegas doesn't care about this game. Now, I saw something in this game that confused me a little bit, which was the Atlanta Falcons only being favored by 1 point. What are we doing here? What are we talking about? Why is it taking so long for people to respect the Atlanta Falcons? They're 0-2, but they're arguably one possession away from 2-0 in both of those games. Granted, they got beat up on early by the Rams, but they came back and easily covered 10.5 last week. I've been riding the Falcons against the spread so far this season. I'm taking them again here, -1. They're going to go into Seattle, and they're going to pound the ball down Seattle's throat. Seattle's got no defense anymore, and Geno Smith's not going to be able to do anything. He had one good week against Russell Wilson. They had the emotion. They were fired up against the Broncos. I like the Falcons here. I don't think going into Seattle matters for them. I like them a lot here. They probably stayed on the West Coast, right? Because they played in LA last week, so they're already time zone adjusted. You don't need to worry about East Coast traveling west here.
Casey, we're going to be button heads all day, buddy.
Fuck you.
I love Seattle. I absolutely love Seattle. And they are absolutely mirror images of each other.
They really are.
They got weapons as receivers. The quarterbacks are okay.
Quarterbacks are first round guys that are mobile, that became career backups like all of a sudden. They are mirror fucking images.
Yeah, I'm taking the home team and you're getting a point on it. Basically a pick 'em at this point. I don't know. That's got to be the pick for me.
It's a really good
Geno Smith and Marcus Mariota. He's a freaking bum, dude. They're not really working Kyle Pitts into this
Go ahead. They're
not working.
They're not working Kyle Pitts into what? Into the offense here?
They're not working Kyle Pitts in the offense enough.
I mean, at least that rookie guy's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, he's not bad. Drake London.
Yeah, good name. Got a
Great name.
Got a good name on him there. But yeah, you'd think, you would want to throw the ball to the tight end that you drafted number 4 overall.
Yeah.
But it's just not in the game plan for him right now.
This is my stinky pick of the week. Yuck. Smells. I love the Seahawks.
I don't think this pick smells that bad because you're betting against the Falcons, right? If you're taking the Seahawks against like a solid team, yeah, that pick stinks. I don't think this pick stinks that bad. I think it's a solid pick. This is more like what I'm doing here is the Falcons have been so good to me that even though I like the Seahawks in this spot, I've got to give the Falcons credit where credit's due because they're 2-0 against the spread. That's all that matters to me. 2-0 against the spread. 0-2 in real life, 2-0 against the spread.
All right, we got 2 flip games on the board, potentially.
Oh, shit. All right, next game. This is going to be a good one. We've got the Cincinnati Bengals coming into New York, coming into the Big Apple. Who knows if they're going to be able to handle it. Taking on the Jets, Jets. What do you got?
Casey, I'm 0-2 on the Bengals so far.
Spread's at -6. Bengals.
Ooh, I got a 5.5.
Sure.
We'll take 6. We'll put it at 6.
Let me check live. Live checking of the line. You've got a live. I've got 6 on FanDuel right now.
We're taking 6 then.
Okay.
Casey, I've done it before. I'm doing it again. I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals.
Brother.
I got to put the garbage bag over my head, dude. They have looked absolutely awful, but here's the thing. TJ Watt, week 1. Micah Parsons, week 2. The Jets don't have that guy that's going to be constantly in the backfield. The Bengals O-line's going to get a bump this week. People are going to say, hey, things are all right here. That might be false, but against the Jets, that's the way it's going to look. The Jets used all their magic last week to be the Cleveland Browns. It's not happening again. I'm taking the Bengals -6.
I could not agree more with you, buddy. I think the Bengals might win this game by 50 points. Jets coming off a high, that last-minute win against the Browns. They're going to be hooting and hollering, having a good time at practice this week. The Bengals are 0-2 when they were expected to be 2-0 right now. Hungry Dog is never needed to run faster. They're going to win by 50 points, shut everyone up really quick, and get the season back on track. I think this is one of the clearest bets on the board to me because if the Jets don't win last minute last week, if the Bengals make one of those field goals against the Steelers week 1, this spread's at like 10 points right now.
Yeah, 100%. And one other thing I want to add real quick, Casey, as well. Joe Flacco's kids always called him a loser. He sucks. You're not good. That was the big story coming out this week. He came home with a win. Those kids are probably giving him so much praise. No bulletin board material for him. What's Flacco getting up and playing for? He got his win for the freaking decade now. He's good.
I love that that Joe Flacco's bulletin board material comes from his children. That's like the most Joe Flacco thing of all time. Also, I love that his kids think that their Super Bowl MVP father is a loser and call him a loser all the time. That's great. That's just there's never been I can't think of a single Super Bowl quarterback that has had a bigger fall from grace than Joe Flacco. Because like you could say Nick Foles, but Nick Foles wasn't really supposed to be there anyway. So I wouldn't really call that a fall from grace. Joe Flacco was like, it was so weird. He was just like the best quarterback ever for one season and then was not good at all after.
And there's always that thought in the back of your head, could Foles do it again? Like every time he's on a roster, it's dude, this guy could potentially do it, and then he's like the third string on the roster. You're like, what am I thinking? I always am like, that team just needs to make the playoffs without Nick Foles. And he's a playoff guy. You know what I mean? All he cares for.
This one I'm interested in. This threw me off a little bit. We've got the Detroit Lions heading to Minnesota to take on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I got the Vikings here at -5.5. What do you? That's the line. Sorry, that's not my pick yet. What's your pick?
That's what I got to.
What's your pick? You want to go first, or you want to hear what I'm thinking?
Yeah. Why don't you kiss off this one, Case?
All right.
Get a big old gulp of that sparkling water, Case. No more soda for you, big dog.
All right, so here's the deal. Everybody is going to look at last week and they're going to freak out. They're going to overreact. I wish this line was a little bit closer. Being a little bit closer would make me happier, but I like the Vikings in this spot, -5.5. I think the Vikings are actually really good, like really, really good. I think they make the jokes about Kirk Cousins in primetime, and they keep making the jokes, but at some level, it is very real, and this is a 1 p.m. game in Minnesota against Detroit that nobody's going to be watching. Perfect time for Kirk Cousins to go for 350 and 5 touchdowns.
Casey, there's going to be an echo in the room, buddy, when I talk. Like, I'm just going to be saying the exact same stuff you're saying. I think this game could be an alternate spread route, 30-point route. They have so many weapons. They had a big stinker, short week. None of that matters to me, Case. None of it. They're just a better football team.
Do you know what I like here over not even the alternate is I like the over because these teams put up points. Detroit, I legitimately think Minnesota might score 50 in this game, but Detroit might score 45. You know what I mean? So I really like the over in this game as well. I am going to take Minnesota 5.5 because I've been awful on betting totals this year so far.
I should have made this my fresh.
Yeah, you like it?
This is absolutely free cash.
That much you like it?
I think this is absolutely free cash.
Oof, I'm not that confident in it. I will say the public is all over Detroit.
Oh, love that even more. How can you look with your own eyeballs at that Detroit team? I'm going to put my career on this.
You put your career? You'll quit.
I'll put my whole career on this. I'll quit.
If Minnesota doesn't cover, you will quit gambling for a living.
Fair.
Deal. What's going to be our flip pick game of the week? Falcons? Keep running it?
Yeah, have to.
All right. Falcons, Seahawks. That's the bet for next week. I've got the Falcons -1. You got the Seahawks +1. This week, buddy, you're betting on the Colts. Come on. You know you want to. You've wanted to all season long. You're wearing a Colts jersey. Fuck off on all that bullshit Patrick Mahomes stuff. Screw Patrick Mahomes. Screw the Chiefs. Tell me why you love the Colts.
AC, the Colts are that team. Coming into this year, we took their over season total. We took them for be the last team undefeated. We love the Colts. They lost 2 division games on the road. Like, what are you going to do? That's a system play on the other side, right?
Yep.
The Colts are going to be at home. They're going to be looking tough. I honestly did not have a good look onto this game previously. I'm glad I was going to flip it already kind of in my mind. I was already flipping, oh, what if Jonathan Taylor gets his legs back and he runs for freaking 150 yards, kills the clock, doesn't let Patrick Mahomes get time to actually be on the field and make those amazing plays. If there's a team to beat the Chiefs outright, I think it's the Indianapolis Colts. And they're going to see each other. They're going to see each other as well in the AFC Championship game. And
wow,
this is a preview for it.
Now that's a statement. I
like the Colts money line.
I think we just found our YouTube video title for this week. Our Colts versus Chiefs AFC Championship game preview. I love it. Oh shit. All right, you got some machine picks there for you, buddy. Is the machine really at 4-2 right now?
Yeah, I gotta go grab them.
This machine, go ahead. This machine's kicking our ass. All right, and we're back. Let's get those machine picks. As a reminder for any new listeners here, Manny and I this season are battling against a grocery store vending machine. You guys know the little 50-cent guys. They spit out a little helmet or football, NFL sticker for you. Well, Manny goes to his local store once a week, every week, spins that bad boy. He gets 3 picks. And we're trying to beat the machine. Machine's 4-2 right now. Machine's having a good fucking year. Machine's having a good couple of weeks.
Shout out to Shop and Save as well for keeping the supply running.
Love Shop and Save. Yikes.
We're going head to head with the machine.
Yeah, we're going head to head with the machine on that one. That's a we gain on the machine with that pick right there. We gain on the machine.
Cool sticker though. This is probably the coolest one I've seen.
Yeah, no, I like the outline of the yellow around the red football there. Do they usually look like that? Is that a new one?
I don't know. About to find out, Case.
Oh!
Philadelphia Eagles!
Who do they got? We got Philadelphia heading into Washington. Believe we're talking about this game later, but -6.5 on the Eags there. I mean, they look like they could be the best team in football, so not a bad pick, Machine.
They might be. Oh, two teams are good in the NFL. Eagles, Bills.
Dude. Oh,
Las Vegas. This game was one of the best games I've ever seen in my entire life. Kyler Murray. Unbelievable.
Crazy. Dude, there is nothing more frustrating than when you're like sitting next to your girlfriend watching a football game like that, and she's just like texting on her phone, and you're like, yo, you're like, are you not watching what's happening? This is the most ridiculous. I'm like, he just took a fumble. They're in overtime. It's like they shouldn't even be in overtime, but there was a last second, and then the Raiders are about to kick a field goal to win, but the guy got the fumble, and then he ran it all the way back, and she was like, oh, wow. And I was like, I'm fucking...
I'm so glad you love your game, Casey.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's crazy. And I'm like, you don't even get it. Let's start with our moneyline dogs. Here's the thing. I technically was 6-1 last week because like we're taking a really high plus odds pick. I mean, I guess ours last week were only like plus 110 and plus 120. But in any case, like we're not supposed to win our moneyline dog every week. So I keep reminding myself of that. Like 6-2, but one of those was a plus odds bet.
That's fair, Casey. You got to think about it. It's going to help you with the juice on the other side of it too, though, for the units.
Exactly, which is why this week I'm getting away from these. I hope they win. They might win. Ticky-tacky. Like, I'm going to take a +1, but take a money line here. No, I'm going bigger this week. I'm taking a chance. I'm taking a risk. If we're going to hit, we're going to hit big. I'm taking the Jaguars money line, going into Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. Justin Herbert's hurt. I think the Jags come into town. I think the Jags are like, might be a very good football team. They might win their division and go to the playoffs. Dude.
Casey, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I knew you were gonna be grossed out.
I might have to rinse your mouth. That was disgusting. My ears are like ringing.
I've got 2 words for you. Doug Peterson. That's all that matters. Nothing else. Nobody who's on anybody's team in this game matters. It is Doug Peterson, and he wins. And that's all you need to know. Jaguars, Casey. I got it at plus 250 right now.
Casey, that's a long shot. You're putting your money where your mouth is. That's a long shot. There's 2 good teams in the NFL, the Bills and the Chargers. That's it.
You've said that 3 times this episode with another team plus the Bills.
Yeah.
So there's 4 good teams in the NFL.
4 good teams.
Bills, yeah. Chiefs, Eagles, and Chargers. That's your top 4?
That's my top 4.
Would that Vikings. Be... Are all those teams in the AFC? Oh, except for the Eagles?
Eagles. Eagles win the NFC easy.
Okay. Go ahead. Moneyline dog.
Casey, I'm taking the Cardinals. Plus 162 versus the Rams. I think the Rams are so overrated.
So do I.
And who'd they beat? They beat the Atlanta Falcons. Like, big deal on that one. Cardinals went in, played hard, fought. They're going to ride that second half momentum into this game. They needed a little bit of a warm-up game, Casey. Kind of like that car you're going out and starting, like you mentioned before. I like Kyler Murray. I like what we saw out of him. His hair just continues to grow. Did you see him on the sideline?
Yo, that was.
The longer his hair gets, the better he's going to play, Casey.
Yeah, he's like a chia pet because he's so little, too.
Dude, unbelievable. I love the Cards.
I heard the most perfect reference about watching him run around. It's like, you might not know this one if you don't have any nieces or nephews or kids yet, but it's like when a little kid steals your cell phone and you're trying to get it back off of him. That's what he looks like with the football. Like if you put like, he's like, no. And you're like, give me that fucking phone back. I've got one thing that might have slipped the radar on you here, though. There's a new Call of Duty map that's launching this weekend. I'm not sure if you've heard. There's a little buddy of ours on the Arizona Cardinals who loves himself some Call of Duty. Any nerves, any worry that maybe he's going to be a little sleepy, stays up a little too late playing games? You know, we've all been there.
Casey, Modern Warfare 2 beta launched last week. Did not affect his play. I think he might have put down the controller for good, buddy.
Didn't affect his play? I mean,
second half.
Yeah, because he had to wake up. He was just the whole first half. He's just thinking about the gulag. Is that what it is? Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Thank you. That'd be my only concern. I do like that pick as well. I looked at that a lot on the board, off the board, on the card, off the card. Didn't end up taking it. I do agree with you though. The Rams aren't that good. They have a good offense, I guess, kind of sometimes. You know what worries me about the Rams? Remember after week 1, everybody was like, well, Cam Akers had 0 fantasy points, and Allen Robinson, new wide receiver signing, didn't have a single catch. And then week 2, it felt like they were force-feeding those guys the ball. So it's like, do we have just a bunch of prima donnas? And then we also have a prima donna coach who's going to like listen to them like, oh, you want the ball more? Sure, here you go. Like that, yeah, that'll work against a team like the Falcons who can only put up so many points because they don't know how to do anything but run the ball. But like when it comes and not throw the ball to Kyle Pitts. But when it comes to a team like Cardinals maybe this week, trying to force feed that ball into Koopy Cup, not going to work out.
No shot. And also you got to think Aaron Donald's not going to be catching Kyler Murray. Come here, little guy.
Yeah, Aaron Donald's a little guy himself. Do you love Aaron Donald?
He's a hometown guy, Case.
Yeah, I knew that. That's why I'm asking.
I don't know.
I'm
indifferent on him. He stole T.J. Watt's record. He stole T.J. Watt's award last year. 2 years ago. Jeez, get my facts straight.
Jesus, get my facts straight. That's enough for a Pitt Panthers first down. Rawr. All right, buddy, on to our system plays for the week. I'm going to let you take this one away. You go first.
Casey, I'm taking the Washington Commanders plus 6.5 against the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't want to explain too much about the system. The system does like this play. System's 2-0 on the year. We're going to be riding the system all year long. People say I should look at this percentages for all the games. I don't. I like looking with my eyeballs. This time we're trusting the computer. Mark Zuckerberg doing big things over at Meta. System play. It's going to work.
I think this is a really, really good pick. I actually had this down on my card as my system play. I had a feeling it was going to be your system play, so I pivoted to something else. But like I literally, you can see, I don't want to show what my system play is, but...
Oh, yeah, we got the old scratch out there, huh?
Yeah, you see Commanders plus 6.5, scratched them out. I like the pick. I like it a lot. Although, I don't think that, like, of all of the very good teams in the NFL, the Eagles are legit. There's nothing about the Eagles that have been like, this is fake success. I think the Eagles are real deal legit.
They're the real deal. System's a system. Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk.
You don't want to take it, you have to take it.
Jeff Bezos.
You fucking love these guys lately, huh? You've been all about the big tech guys. Is it because
myself? You see,
that
my
first,
system's good.
You know what happened? That first Thursday night football game on Prime last week. You had to figure out where to go watch it, and you were like, "Where the hell do I watch this football game?" And then you looked it up. You're like, "What the hell is Prime?" And then you looked that up. Then you went down a Wikipedia hole, and then you found Jeff Bezos. And then before you know it, you're on Mark Zuckerberg and Meta, just reading about everything they're going to do with the world.
They're changing the world, Casey. Me there. I'm coding my system.
I never knew you had a keyboard in front of you until just now.
Winners.
Yeah, you just type winners over and over again. That's your system. All right, my system play. Winner last week, 1-1 on the season. I'm going the same exact team again. System picked them again. I didn't pick them. System picked them. I have the Packers as plus money, or at plus 1.5 against Tampa Bay. I don't get the line.
Casey, that's a great call on that.
What is what? I, the Bucks have not looked good. They no part of any of the Bucks games have been impressive on their end. Like I feel like they're just waiting to lose, and then to be hosting Green Bay, and I think the Packers might win this game. This might be an alternate line guy. I might have to go Packers like -20.
Yeah, I'm gonna add this to my card too.
Yeah, I'm stunned. It's almost so stinky, or the opposite of stinky. It's almost so good and so like luscious and smells nice, if you will, that I think if I scratch off the surface a little bit, it might smell like shit underneath. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that worries me is that the Bucks here would be the stinky pick, and stinky picks have been good for us lately.
Only thing is though, if they stick a linebacker on, this is where the sports tips, highlights, and insights come into play.
Good call.
They stick a linebacker on Aaron Jones all game, kind of spy him. That could be trouble.
That could be trouble. Yeah. Is that the defensive strat? Is that the play you'd go with?
I'm sticking a guy right on Aaron Jones. Make him throw the ball. That's a good. Bucks have a good defense. That's the only. I still like a pick case. That's the only thing I'm thinking, buddy.
Bucks do have a solid defense. No Mike Evans though, because he decided to beat up. Oh, I want to fight. I'm a fight guy. Oh, I'm big Mike Evans. All right, last game. Best bet. Free cash. Free money. My best bet of the week. It's stinky. It's a stinky pick. Anytime you're betting on this team, you're plugging your nose and you're pressing submit. I'm going to tell you something. A couple of stats here. I'm a stats guy now. All right. Since 2005, winless underdogs within a 7-point spread are 127-81 against the spread. That's 61% winless underdogs, 7-point spread, or within that range. Winless teams versus teams who lost week 2 are 63.4% against the spread. This is all to say, Houston Texans +3 heading into Chicago. Put your entire mortgage, your paycheck, your payment that's supposed to go to your student loan and is really going to fuck you if you lose the bet. Put it all on the Texans +3 heading into Chicago because it's not losing.
I love that. I love it. I think the Bears are the worst team of all times. And I've been on the Texans already this year. I think Mills Mafia is not as bad as you think. I think he's a way better quarterback than what they got in Chicago currently.
I mean, the Texans they got the tie week 1, which is basically a W.
That's a win.
For them. Yep.
A big W.
And then last week,
they played the Broncos tough.
Real tough. Real tough. And
Start putting some respect on that Texans name.
And now they have the shitty ass Bears. Like, Justin Fields out here telling fans that he doesn't like them.
Get out of here. Get that guy out of town.
He's the worst, dude. When Justin Fields, both fans get mad at me because I woos.
Week 1, I told you, Casey. Week 1, I told you he's already on the out down there in Chicago. They're already moving on. He's a bust.
You could tell.
He's a bust. All right. Here to give you a winner, Casey. This team could not have ruined my week worse than they did last week. Worse than they did. I freaking hate them, Casey. But I'm back on them again. Lamar Jackson, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, dude.
What's going on, buddy? That loss hurt so bad.
I can't believe
Lamar Jackson's going to make it so much better as he's going to roll into Gillette Stadium and beat them by 2.5. New England Patriots, bye-bye. You beat a weak Steelers team. The Ravens are the play here. Lamar Jackson may throw for conservative 400 yards and rush for a conservative 400 yards.
I can't believe you're doing it.
I have to.
I don't know if I could do it ever again. I might be like off the Ravens for the entire season because of that game. That was one of the like hardest my heart has ever hurt from a bet ever. That was already a W. Like I had spent the money on beers at the Giants game already. I was like, oh, nice. Ravens won. What an easy bet. I'm glad I listened to
Casey,
Manny. That was the easiest bet of my life.
ever. Easiest bet ever. I've known the Patriots every week so far, minus week 1.
Yeah, you think you're all over them?
I'm all over them. Week 2, I freaking nailed that as my fresh bet of the week, Case. I'm all over them, picking spots. Win. I love the Ravens. Seriously, I absolutely love them. They're like my favorite. They're in the division.
They really are.
My favorite team to bet on.
Yeah, they really are. You can't quit the Ravens. You know what it might be? Rather than bet, it's not betting on the Ravens that I need to quit. I think I need to just not bet against the Dolphins for the rest of the year. Because that whole Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle can both score 80-yard touchdowns at any point is not healthy for a gambler to be betting against.
Yeah.
Because that shit is scary. Like that is legitimately like, it's funny to say, but like sitting down, I'm glad my team doesn't have to play the Dolphins twice a year like some of those teams, because like sitting down to watch my team play the Dolphins would be legitimately terrifying. But like at any moment, these guys are just going to run as far as they can, and Tua's going to throw it as far as he can.
You're never safe. His arm throw is so disgusting until you see it in reverse.
I saw that.
Dude.
I love NFL fans. There's nothing better than hardcore NFL fans. For those of you guys who might not have seen it, this Dolphins fan went is going viral because I don't even know how you do this. He like created a mirrored version of an entire play just to see how Tua would look throwing the ball if he were to be right-handed. Because everybody makes fun of Tua's throwing motion, but right-handed looks normal, looks nice.
One of the nicest throwing arms in the league.
I love that he also chose like a 70-yard touchdown. Like let's do the same thing on like an overthrow pick 6.
Or a check down. When he checks down, dude, that's when I look at it. It's like that's the most disgusting throw I've ever seen in my life.
You're such a fucking football analyst. Like you're an analyst, bro. I feel bad for you because you can't sit down and just like kind of chill and watch the games, can you? You're constantly like analyzing throwing motions, blocking schemes. It's crazy. The level of knowledge you have.
Big brain kid.
One quick thing before we go. Steelers plus 4.5 tonight. Obviously, this will come out after the game happens. What are you thinking?
I like the Steelers tonight, Case.
Oh, I like the Browns tonight.
I like the Steelers tonight. I think there is another similar one. The only thing I'm worried about is that run game's going to...
What's up with Truby? Is he hurt?
Oh, he's fine, dude. Pittsburgh needs to calm down on that.
Is he out? I thought he was hurt.
No, he's playing.
Wait, Pittsburgh fans just want him benched already?
People want him benched.
Wait, what? I thought he was hurt, and that's why we were talking about him not starting this week. Wait.
They want him benched.
All right. I don't get why you bring in a guy, and then after a 1-1 start...
Beat the Cincinnati Bengals!
Pittsburgh, don't ever quit. Don't ever quit trying to bench Truby after a 1-1 start with that team.
They're like, where's Ben at? It's like, dude, what are you talking about?
I also read one theory that was like the only reason Tomlin's not playing Kenny Pickett is because this offensive line is so bad that they don't want to. Otherwise, like Pickett would be the best quarterback on the team.
Casey, that could be true. That could 100% be true, and then that's a good thing.
So they want. So then, who do they want in? They want Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer in there.
Casey, I like the Steelers tonight, buddy. The only thing that worries me is that defense is going to get run down if Pittsburgh's not getting enough first downs, and they're going to keep running, and that defense gets tired. We saw it last year so many times that I just like, if that's the case and it starts happening again where the Cleveland's just running for first down, 4-yard carries at a time, I'm going to have to turn the game off. I'm not going to be able to watch it again. But I do like the Steelers.
I'm pretty certain that's what's going to happen. And so that's why I love the Browns. And also, I really think, like, I don't think there's a player in the NFL that makes a difference to his team the way that TJ Watt does to the Steelers. And, like, they're a completely different team with him not there. I think they're just, like, they might be one of the worst teams in the NFL without TJ Watt and, like, a 9-8 scrappy playoff team with him.
Casey, you're right. You're right.
It's an
You're 100% right.
Steelers are, like, I put a clip out from our podcast last week talking about how I love Eagles fans. I love Steelers fans too. They're right in that like same group of like absolute nutcases about their team.
I'm fighting on the front line here for my boy Trubisky too. Like, come
I
on.
know, because you look like him. You just want to be able to get free drinks when you go out because people will think that you're Mitch.
Oh, Mitch.
Mitch?
I bought my little cousin a Mitch jersey, and I was talking to his dad. And I'm like, dude, this is bad because like in 4 years he's gonna actually fit into that jersey I bought him, and people at school are gonna be like, who the hell is Trubisky? Like that's how it's gonna be for it. But like, it's
Dude,
tough. People are gonna. It's gonna be a trivia question one day. What quarterback went 1-1 and was benched?
you,
First round quarterback, Mitch Trubisky.
you should maybe the reason Pittsburgh wants Trubisky benched is because they've been seeing you around town, and they're like, is he really? They're like, is he really that big?
Like, damn, that guy's freaking way too yoked to be a quarterback.
Yeah, that's what they're thinking. Doesn't have anything to do with your height. That's certainly not the reference I was making. All right, I love you, buddy. Good luck
All right.
this week.
Peace
Good luck,
out, brother.
everybody, on your bets. See you guys next
Go
week.
get some W's.